Good morning, children. Sairam. Welcome to the another class of social science. Now, as I have already discussed with you, that social science actually comprises of three broad categories of subject, that is history, pol science and geography. Today I'll be taking your political science chapter number 1, the Indian Constitution. Before starting with the details and the description of the chapter, I would like to tell you that as I have discussed the syllabus of each and every subject in political science as well, I will like to discuss the syllabus of civics or political science according to the NCERT textbook. According to your textbook, NCERT 8th Standard Civics textbook, we have 10 chapters, that is 5 units and 10 chapters, which means 2 units, 2 chapters in 1 unit. That is 5 units having 2 chapters each, out of which 5 chapters we will be covering in the first term and the rest 5 chapters we'll be taking in the second term. So, children, starting with the very first chapter of political science, that means the Indian Constitution. Children, when we talk about the Constitution, what is the first word that strikes in your mind? What is the first word that actually comes into your mind? Can anyone tell? And before starting with this topic, the discussion of this broad term called as constitution, I would like to discuss the important or the topics which we are covering in this lecture. First, what is Indian Constitution? Second, importance of a constitution in a country. Then what is a democracy, and then key features of the Indian Constitution. Again, coming back to the first question, that what is Indian Constitution, and prior to that, before that, I would like to ask you what is constitution and what is the requirement of constitution for a country. Can anyone tell? Children, constitution is a set of rules and regulations which actually provides you with ample and sufficient set of instructions which help to bind the people of a country together. According to the constitution, the rules, the regulations, the amendments, the acts, the rights, as well the duties which are mentioned, every person, that is the every citizen of the country, of any country, it is not about India only, if it is the if it is the constitution of any country, if it is, let it be India, Nepal, Australia, America, whatever constitution of a country will prescribe, the citizens of that particular country have to abide them. Now, why we need a constitution, or who, first of all, how did this constitution came into existence? Who made this constitution? First of all, the constitutions help, as I told, the constitution helps serve as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon. Now, children, when we talk about constitution, the first name associated with the constitution is Babasaheb Dr. Ambedkar, which is the prominent name in the execution, or you can say the bringing up of a facility or a set of rules and regulations for the citizens of India after the independence, that Indian Constitution came into existence. Babasaheb Ambedkar is also known as the father of the Indian Constitution. It was due to his noble efforts that we are today able to put up our ask for the rights and access the fundamental rights as well as duties being a citizen of a country. Today, if we are able to have that much of freedom and right on our country, on our privacy, on our facilitations and as well as availabilities, it is because of his noble rights. After 1947, children, when India got independence, as I told, it was required to make the country republic. Now, how? What is the meaning of republic? Who? What? Once we have got freedom, then what is the use of being republic? Being republic means, or you can say, being living in a being able to adapt oneself according to the other circumstances. That is, in a republic country, anyone, whether a person is rich, poor, he has money, he is abled, disabled, he's knowledgeable, he's non-knowledgeable, he's educative or non-educative, the only concept is that all people of a country should adhere to the following set of rules and regulations which are prescribed by the constitution. And before setting up the constitution and getting into the word constitution, if constitution is a sea, and if we are going to swim or dive into it, then what is the key word? Preamble. Children, preamble is the key word. The preamble of the constitution states clearly that all men and women, all the people, we the people of India, that is all the people of India, the citizens are not people, are not mere people, they are the citizens of India, and they have full right and authority to respect their own cultures, languages, caste, and the religious practices. The preamble is a landmark, or you can say is a symbolism of giving equality, or you can say right of equality to each and everyone's own choices, tastes, and preferences. This word constitution is a broad facility to the citizens of any nation, to the citizens of any country, which help to inculcate the feature of cooperation as well as dignity, honor, and respect towards each other. Now, what is next? Indian Constitution was formed in order to grant the following features to each and every citizen of India. That is, key features of Indian Constitution are: first, federalism. Now, children, taking reference from your school science textbook, federalism, I'll be giving you explanation on the topic federalism with the help of your school science textbook. Now, what is federalism? Listed below are the key features of the Indian Constitution. While reading these, keep in mind the above mentioned concerns of diversity, unity, socio-economic reforms, and concerns of representations that the author of this document were grappling with. That is how we have derived the key features of the Indian Constitution. Try and understand the ways in which they try to balance these concerns with their commitment to transforming independent India into a strong democratic society. First, what is democracy? Before hushing up with the key features of Indian Constitution, democracy. Children, when India got independence in 1947, Indian Constitution was a far off thing or a far off world to be explored. Before that, it was necessary to keep and go through the mindset of the people, as the Indian citizens were going through with a, you can say, passive turmoil. Now, what is passive turmoil? When India and Pakistan were divided, everyone was under depression. So in such a situation, how to make set of rules, set of instructions, and to launch all these instructions with a compassionate way was really difficult. Now, when we the people of the Constituent Assembly who started drafting constitution, who were about 300 people, they found a concept that what should be, how the right of the common man should not be desolated or they should not be snubbed. They found the word democracy. What was the word democracy? Democracy is a form of government, children, in which the government is by the people, of the people, and for the people. In such a situation, there is no violation of rights to the extent, to a far more greater extent, there is no as such violation of any kind of rights or duties as well. Because if we are living somewhere, if we are putting up in a country, that home country, that home nation belongs to us, at that time if we are having some fundamental rights, then we have duties as well. There can be no rights without duties. Fine. Getting back to the NCERT civics textbook, page number 11. Federalism. This refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. In India, we have governments at the state level and at the center. Panchayati Raj is the third tier of government, and you have read about it as well. The vast number of communities in India meant that a system of government needed to be devised that did not involve only persons sitting in the capital city of New Delhi and making decisions for everyone. Instead, it was important to have another level of government in the states so that the decisions could be made for that particular area. While each state in India enjoys autonomy in exercising powers on certain issues, subjects of national concern require that all of these states follow the laws of the central government. The constitution contains lists of central as well as the state. In addition, the constitution also specifies where each tier of government can get the money from for the work that it does. Under federalism, the states are not merely agents of the federal government but draw their authority from constitution as well. All persons in India are governed by laws and policies made by each of these levels of government. So, what is the crux or what is the final conclusion of federalism? That is, where in India there are governments, or you can say functioning nut bolts, that process, the whole mechanism of constitution over there. At that point of time, federalism is a feature that allows governments or political by nature political leaders to work accordingly with the respect of the laws, rules and regulations executed by the constitution. Next, when we talk about the next feature of the key feature of this, we have, when we talk about the next feature, the next feature is parliamentary form of government. This means that the people of our country should be allowed to choose their own with their own choice or right to vote. Parliamentary form of government means that people should have the culture of voting the person of their own choice. For example, taking reference from here again from the NCERT Civics NCERT textbook. Parliamentary form of government. The different tiers of government that you just read about consist of representatives who are elected by the people. Now, the Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage for all citizens. That is, when they are making the constitution, the members of the Constituent Assembly felt that the freedom struggle had prepared the masses for the universal adult franchise. That is, it would help to create a democratic society and mindset and break the clutches of traditional caste, class, and gender hierarchies. This means that the people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. That is, any person, any citizen of India who is 18 years and above has the right to vote. That is, people of India, when they turn up for at the age of 18, they are accessible to vote for casting their vote to the leader they like to. Also, every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, can also contest in elections. That is, any person who is a citizen of India, he or she has the right to take part and be a part of the election. He can also access and take that responsibility of taking the nation along with him. These representatives are accountable to the people and they help in the growth and promotion of the nation in a progressive way. When we talk about the next feature, that is separation of powers, third feature is separation of powers. According to the Indian Constitution, there are three organs of the government, that is legislature, executive, and judiciary. These three terms are broad terms in a diversified manner, which are put forward in front of the constitution as well as its citizen who access these particular powers in order to solve the problem of the people without any confusion. When we talk about the legislature, the legislature refers to our elected representatives. The executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. And third, of course, the judiciary, that is the law and order of the country. It prevents the misuse of power by any one branch of government. The Constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different powers. Through this, each organ acts as a check on the other organs of government, and this ensures the balance of power between all three. That is easily specified, and it can be mentioned, or you can easily specify that these three functions, these three organs and their functions are interrelated or correlated. If there is any fault with the legislature, the executive and the judiciary are responsible. If there is fault with the executive, the legislature and judiciary are there. In order to protect the rights as well as the duties of the citizens of the country India, the government, that is the constitution, has granted these particular functions in such a manner. Now, getting back to this, these features should not be confused with the organs of the government. When we talk about the key features of constitution, it is, I can scroll back with it again. Third is separation of powers, second parliamentary form of government, and first federalism. Three key features of Indian constitution: federalism, parliamentary form of government, and separation of powers. Under separation of powers, we have three different organs. I repeat, under separation of powers, when we talk about the separation of powers, we have three different organs which work as a helping hand to the government. Children, in this lecture, I would like you to answer these questions: that what is federalism, what is democracy, and what is parliamentary form of government. The chapter is not yet over. The rest of the chapter we will continue in the next class. Thank you. Sai Ram.